Okay, so what we've got here is a drawing that is on how to do an ellipse. As you can see, I've got an ellipse here. The major axis from end to end is 100 millimeters, and the minor axis from side to side is 50 millimeters. So we want to be able to draw this ellipse in here, or draw the ellipse using a concentric circles method. So I'm going to turn the circles on that I've drawn. When I push the button, there they go. So you can see the minor axis, I've drawn a circle here at 50 millimeters in diameter, and for the major axis I've drawn a circle here at 100 millimeters in diameter. So that's how we're going to draw it. They're dead over the center, as you can see. Now what we do is we put some projection lines through the center of the circle. Turn the wrong one on, turn that one on. So we've got a whole lot of lines going through here. These lines can be at any angle, so long as they fit within the 90-degree quadrant. You can put as many lines through here as you want. It's actually better to have them slightly closer to the center or on the horizontal line, instead of having more up in this portion, because the curve across through the top, just turn that off again for a moment. The curve through the top across here is actually quite shallow, whereas the points on the end that you're going to have to put in, it's turning quite hard through this area on both ends, so you need a few more points through there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw one beside it just to show you. Turn that back on. So I've got these two lines here, which I'm going to turn into center lines for you. I just turned them off before. So these are my center lines, so we're going to rip into it. So I need to draw a circle, 25 millimeter radius, or 50 millimeters diameter, and one at the 100. So I've just done the 100. 25. So there's my, this one here is my going to be the width of my minor axis, and the large one from end to end is going to be the major axis. So there we go. We're just going to put some lines in. I'm just going to draw some lines across here. I'm not even going to put angles on them. So I'm going to put a couple down the end here. You'll see how I run them in a moment. It's slightly different drawing on Autocad than it is on a piece of paper with a set square. Just put these in here. So you've got set squares, 30, 60 set square, 45-degree set square. You can be using those with a T-square. So I'm just going to extend all these lines to the other side of the circle. There we go. I'm going to trim them off on the outside of the circle, just up here. So that's that done. My mouse is playing up again. So how this works, I'm going to put those two projection lines. Put those on projection lines 1, and we'll put all these other lines here on projection lines 2. Projection lines are just lines that you run through something. They're not going to be part of the main drawing at the end of it. So the rule is that where the line coming from the center, this line here coming through the center, where it hits the internal circle, we draw a line horizontally across. And where that same line projecting up hits the outside circle, we draw a line projecting back down. So I'll start to run those in. So it's just going to go horizontal. And where the same line coming up hits the top there, it comes back vertical. Now I'm going to have to put that in on a perpendicular on this one, because it's pretty close to the center line, to the other line coming through. So the next one, horizontal, coming from the outside, perpendicular back to the bottom, horizontal, perpendicular. So that's giving me a series of points. I'm just going to trim these off. So around here, where these two lines meet, this blue dot here is actually the point that I'm looking for. Same with this one, blue point. They're all the same. That's where we're actually going to draw our curve through. So I'm just going to keep laying these in. I could mirror image this drawing, but just to show you, it's easier if I draw the whole thing out because it doesn't, it gives you a bit more clarity over what I'm trying to do. Anyone that's done a bit of Autocad will know that I could mirror image this, but that's not the objective of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show you how to do it. So there's my horizontal lines, bringing them back down from the top, vertically back towards the center line. Next one. And last one. There we go. Trim those out again. We'll just trim the tags off them. So that's my top half done. As the lines come back down through the center, we're going to do exactly the same thing on the bottom. Running them in horizontal. So I'll just get these in here. It just takes a few minutes. Do them straight out the other side now at the same time. So just dropping the verticals in. Which one am I on there? This line coming through here goes back to here. This next line, this one coming through here, goes back to that line. And the last one, this line coming through back here, up to that point there, up the other side. That's it there. Push the button too many times. This one here back to here, and lastly this point here back to that one there. So there we go, we've got all our points. Just trim these out again. I have to do that one a couple of times. My line's a wee bit too far, but anyway, that's it done on that side. And on this side, we'll go down to there, we'll do that, and then we'll do the next one. Hitting my keyboard too many times. So I've got all my points that I'm looking for. It's the corner of these angles. That's how I'm going to run my line through. So I'll just pull that down into the center. Getting a bit off the screen. How many minutes are we up to? 9 minutes. So I'm going to put a spline line. So what you're going to do is you're simply going to take a pencil and you're going to sketch through these points, just like I'm doing with a keyboard or with a computer. You're going to go through all these points with a pencil. To create your curve. and there's our curve. So that's how you draw an ellipse. What will I do? I'll put all these lines here onto projection lines as well, just so I can turn this off for a moment. Come down here, get onto the screen. Projection lines, number 2, and we'll turn that off. Done. So there we go. I'll leave these ones on. So where the line came through, hit the circle, in a circle we went horizontal. That same line from the center through that point to the outside point, we projected a line back to the vertical, and we got a series of points that we could draw our arc through. It's pretty simple, really. There's not much to it. So that's how you're going to do it. I'll just drop these in on here as well. So this is using a concentric circle method. There are other methods. I will get round to doing those drawings at the same time, or at another time, should I say. But that's how you're going to use your drawing, do your drawing. So I think there's a drawing that some people need to make. They have an ellipse that is 20 millimeters by 10 millimeters at a scale of 5 to 1. So 20 times 5 is 100 mil, 10 times 5 is 50 mil. Draw your circles, and your 2 concentric circles. Smaller one is the minor axis, larger one is the major axis, and then draw your ellipse just like that. There you go. Thank you.